Okay, so this is my fourth vlog for Unit 13 FMP. I also recorded my robot research today, and I'm going to be talking my environment in this. I'm going to be talking about my environment research in this vlog. There's probably going to be like a couple of little vlogs joined into one on this one because I'm not done with this research. I'm starting to think about render times and environments and that kind of thing because I'm obviously making the environment and the robot. And as much as I'm confident with the modelling, the rigging and getting the robot done, that's kind of the most confident area, I had no idea what I was doing with the environments. So I did a little bit of research on the different engines and different renderers that I can use. I already knew that I wanted to model in Maya because this is what I'm used to. It's going to be easier for me, but it's also going to get rid of like another learning curve, which I don't want to have to do because of time. It took me like 4 weeks to get confident in Maya, so I feel like if I switch to another program, it's going to take way too long to get used to and get up to a higher level. Whereas I've already got basic knowledge of Maya, so this project I plan to improve on it rather than trying to learn a new software. So that's what I decided for modelling and rigging and animating, because I've already had some basic experience in this. Still going to be a learning curve because it's still new things, but I feel as though it's kind of like here, whereas other softwares I'd be starting down here and I'd have to get to that level already. So that's what I'm using for modelling, rigging and animating. Lighting and rendering, I've basically got 3 options. I've looked at the other options, but these are the 3 I'm kind of deciding between now. I can do it with Arnold in Maya. It's the most time consuming, but it's the most high quality, and also I don't have to worry about different versions because it's in Maya, so I don't have to try and transfer the textures, which is currently what I'm having issues with the other ones. I've also got Unity, which I can use, and Unreal. These are both game engines. They are quicker at rendering because they do real-time rendering. So as you're doing something, you can see you're doing it, especially with like the lighting and stuff. I don't know these softwares. They're very new to me. I've had a little bit of a play around in Unity. Like I've started to experiment with them. So I've made an environment in Maya using the paint effects. A lot of the stuff I'm going to be using other assets for because I do not have the time to make trees and like grass and animate it all. So I am going to be using like other assets, but I'm going to be lighting it myself, and I'm also probably going to be making the rocks myself because I don't want to use like too much of other people's stuff. Whereas the paint effects is like integrated into Maya, so you can just do it without having to import it, which is cool. So I've made an environment in Maya and I've tried to do a render test. So it's a pretty developed, and it's kind of, I feel like it's close to what I would be creating, just I had no idea what I was doing, so it's kind of more of an experiment. It took 1 minute at a lower quality. Can you stop? It took 1 minute at a lower quality to render 1 frame. I'm saying my animation is going to be about 15 seconds at the moment, no longer, to be quite honest. So for a 15-second clip with 360 frames, so 124 frames a second times by 15, that's 360. So it's going to be 6 hours to do a low quality full render, which is quite a lot. It's really quite a lot. And then I realised that I wasn't doing it in a high enough quality. So for full HD, it took 3 minutes to do 1 frame, and that's without a camera, without my robot, without any animation apart from like the grass and the trees, which is already in there, to do 1 frame. So it's going to take me 18 hours and 15 seconds to do 1 full HD render, which is quite a lot. If you think about, we've got like a 13-week project and we're already like 4 weeks in. It's going great. So The next thing I need to do, this is how far I've got now. I'm pleased with the environment I've created, and I know that now I need to start creating this environment and doing renders and getting the lighting right on the environment, and then when my robot's done I can put it in, adjust it as much as I need to and render. There's going to be a lot of waiting around because when you're rendering you can't do anything else on the Mac, and so what I need to do next, I need to still play around with Unity and Unreal. Unity I've started playing around with. I've tried to put the Maya scene into Unity because I've been modelling in Maya, moving it into Unity, having a lot of issues with textures, and basically anything I've used Paint FX on, the textures aren't going across. So I need to figure out whether it's going to be quicker for me to just render in Maya or reassign the textures and render in Unity. I need to test Unreal because I haven't yet, but no one really has any knowledge on this in college apart from Tony with limited. Unity he knows the best of. And also I've got people that I know that also use Unity. So Unity is more likely than Unreal at the moment. The other thing I need to do is start designing my environment. I already have a rough idea of how I'm going to design it, what I want it to look like. I have those drawn up. I need to experiment with water, I need to experiment with light, I need to get the environment looking what I want it to look like before I start making my robot. Or I can be doing it at the same time, but it needs to be a step ahead of the robot. It needs to be done before I finish my robot. So that when the robot's done, I can get it in, I can render and light, and then all I need to do is comp. Sounds like a lot, and it's flustering me a little bit, but I'm pleased with the progress I've made so far, and figuring out the render times has kind of put into perspective how long it's going to take. The other thing I need to look at is render farms. Am I going to be able to use a Mac Studio to get a 2-hour render instead of an 18-hour render? I don't really know how it works, and that's something I need to work on. Stop it. To see whether I can get I don't know, even just 5 or 6 computers all rendering it at the same time, to whether that would speed it up, but I don't know how this works, and that's the next thing I need to research. So that's how far I've got. There's probably going to be another one on this. Also, this is what's been making the noise. What are you doing? Huh? In your box. Caddy. What are you doing? Just a little treat for you there. I'm sure you're bored of marking already.